Am I wrong for not letting my dad's wife name or see my baby? I'm 25 and pregnant. My dad got remarried when I was 17. Me and her never got along. She always pushed me and she wanted me to call her mom and then got mad when I didn't. She got mad that my dad was choosing me over her because we would go out together, just me and him. She went through my text messages, got mad at me for talking to my boyfriend about my depression and how I was feeling and not to her. She tried to take the stuff that I paid for away, my phone, car, etc. Tried to make me babysit her kids multiple times, even on my prom night. She tried to make me lose weight by fasting for a week straight. I'm a healthy weight, always was and still am, but that has always been monitored by a doctor due to health issues then and now. Me and my dad still talk, just not as much. He wanted to meet for brunch, so I said yes, unaware that he was bringing her. When they came in, we talked for a bit casually with my husband there too, until we got into the topic of my pregnancy. She asked me all kinds of questions until she gets to names. She told me that I was going to name the baby Amy, her daughter's name. I politely said no and said we already had a few names in mind. She started saying why she wasn't allowed to name her grandchild and she thought that she would get that right, and I told her it's our right. That was another issue. She kept saying that I was taking away her right as a grandparent and that I've always been such a bitch to her for no reason, and she knew that I never accepted her as a mother from the beginning, but I'm a bad parent if I'm going to project that onto my kid. However, this is when I stopped everything and told her she's not allowed around my kid ever. She kept pushing it, saying that she always knew I was a brat, but to be this bitter to someone who only helped her is absurd. I said that she can think that all she wants, but I'm going to be naming our child whatever we decide, and that name won't be it. Then she decided to try to hit close to home, saying that I was going to be a horrible mother. I'm already not taking care of myself. I look like shit. I'm already eating too much and probably killing the baby with how much I eat. And I just keep adding to how much of a self-centered person I am by taking away her bonding with her grandchild. Whoa, that hit me hard. But I was through. I told her she's not going to be seeing my child ever when she's born since she wanted to push her luck. Before I could say more, my husband grabbed our stuff and we left. I've never ever gotten so many messages from so many different people in my life. Multiple people are telling me that she was wrong, but I know how she can get, but I shouldn't deny her her grandbaby. Others are saying I'm an asshole and my father is on her side too. I honestly think I'm 100% in the right. It could be self-absorbed of me to say, but I do. But everyone else besides my husband thinks I'm a raging bitch. So, am I the asshole? Am I wrong for calling the bride a slut at the wedding reception? I, 22 female, went to a wedding recently for my friend's 22 female cousin. My friend brought me along for emotional support since she was being forced to go. My friend didn't like her cousin at all because, simply put, the cousin is horrible to my friend. She would make fun of my friend's appearance, which included anything from weight, hair, skin, etc., despite my friend being drop dead gorgeous. This has led to her having major self-esteem issues. On top of that, there was a 10-year age gap between my friend and her cousin, 32 female, meaning it was literally at one point an adult bullying a child. Friend's cousin is also just an awful person in general, the quintessential racist, but I have black friends, mean girl who gossips and fights with everyone. However, my friend's parents believe that family is forever no matter what, so she was dragged to the wedding, meaning I got dragged along as well. The ceremony happened and we moved to the reception. Everything was going surprisingly smoothly until I started dancing with one of the groomsmen on the dance floor. Bride didn't like this apparently. I know because she came up to me and asked me what the hell I thought I was doing. I was confused and asked her what she meant. She asked me why the hell was I all over him meaning the groomsman. I didn't know why she was upset about it. After all, she had a new husband that she should be celebrating with. My friend intervened after she noticed the bride talking to me angrily. The bride turned to my friend and asked her why she brought this slut to her wedding. I wasn't too surprised given the stories I've heard about her, but nevertheless, that still stung. My friend told her to back off and not to say that to me. Bride said that I was indeed a slut for dancing with the groomsman. My friend explained to me that the groomsman that I was dancing with was her ex-boyfriend. I turned to the bride and told her that she just got married to another man, so it wasn't like she wanted her ex back. Why would you be okay with one of your husband's groomsmen being your ex? Why was the guy even okay with it? That's weird AF. She then told me that the chances are still high and that I have no right to put my hands on him. I laughed and said, "Oh, so you're the one that's actually a slut." Bride lost it, screaming at me, cursing at me, crying while her husband was trying to escort her away. And all the while I was laughing my ass off. I had a few drinks then. My friend had escorted me back away to our table. Now that the alcohol has worn off, as much as I hate her, I feel like I may be the asshole for saying that to the bride at the reception. According to my friend, she has been getting calls and texts from angry family members asking the both of us how we could ruin the bride's big day. So, am I the asshole? Am I wrong for purposely giving alcohol to Mormons? I, 31 male, am a classically trained French chef. I have spent the last 11 years training and cooking in restaurants in France, and I am an American citizen. I met my wife, 26 female, 5 years ago when she was on vacation in France. We fell in love and she lived with me in France. When we decided we wanted to start a family, she expressed a desire to move back to her hometown of Salt Lake City, Utah, in the USA so we can be closer to her family. We had made the move as of last week. I was wondering where the Mormon came into the story. When we made the official move into our house, moving in some furniture from France and some bought furniture stateside, we had a bunch of neighbors come out and help us. What was expected to take 4 or 5 hours of moving in and arranging and putting away ended up taking 2 hours as suddenly 15 people came over to help, with snacks and drinks and advice about the home and neighborhood. I was so grateful and surprised at this kindness, so I offered to cook them all a grand meal 3 days later. Some turned the offer down because their kids or schedule, others because helping neighbors move is just the Mormon thing to do. I ended up cooking a 4-course French dinner for 3 other couples. They all absolutely loved my entree of giga qui plero with the pan sauce, some even asking for seconds of it. I ended up making copies of the recipe for them as a final thank you since they loved it so much. When I gave them the recipes, they looked absolutely shocked. They didn't realize the pan sauce had red wine in it and they are not allowed to consume alcohol because they are Mormons. They ended up getting very angry at me, saying I'm trying to corrupt them with alcohol and that I should respect other people's beliefs and dietary restrictions. My wife is very upset and feels like I ruined our first chance at making friends in our new neighborhood. People I have talked to about this have been very split about it if I'm an asshole or not. Some say I should have studied up on Mormon dietary restrictions and modified my recipes to match, while others have said that as the people with the dietary restrictions, they should have mentioned them well before the preparation of the meal to make sure those restrictions are met, just like someone with an allergy would mention it. So which side are you on? Am I the asshole? Am I wrong for bringing my fiancé to my daughter's wedding? I, 52 male, have a daughter, B, 23 female, who got married last week to her wife, E, 24 female. They had been dating just under a year and decided to have the intimate wedding with me and about 20 other guests. B does not get along with my fiance, M, 29 female. B has no contact at all with M, and she refuses to come to our house and has been quite low contact with me for the last year or so because of an argument she had with M. As expected, B did not invite M to the wedding, but invited me as a guest. M said she did not mind if I went without her, which I thought was very gracious in the face of rudeness. However, we recently found out that M is a few weeks pregnant with our first child, and she has been anxious and having panic attacks all the way through her pregnancy. The morning of the wedding, I found M crying on the sofa and literally shaking. I asked what was wrong, and she said she felt very panicky and unsafe alone. I offered to stay home since she was so ill and I was worried about her, but she insisted I go to the wedding. I was too concerned to go without her, so I messaged E, informed her of the situation that M would be coming with me in case she had a medical emergency while I was away. E did not respond until we were already dressed up and halfway to the venue. E told us that M was not to set foot at the wedding, but at the point I had no other option and I wanted to be there for B. It did not go well. B did not speak to me the whole way through the wedding and kept giving ugly looks to M. At the reception, there obviously wasn't a place set for M and an extra chair had to be squeezed in. But I cut some food and fed her off my own plate, so I did not think it was a big deal. E came to me after dinner and said that B was not doing a father-daughter dance with me and gave me a list of complaints. She said she was disgusted by M's dress because it was red, and that M was wrong to introduce herself as my stepmother to B, and that M should not have mentioned her pregnancy at all. M only mentioned her pregnancy because she was offered a little cake, and cake makes her sick because of the pregnancy hormones. E told us to leave after dinner, and I agreed, so I did not upset B. I don't like, why is the daughter communicating through her wife to her dad? Like, if you want to say something, go talk to him yourself. I don't like that. It's so mature. However, when M stood up, her stomach cramped and she fell over. It only made a tiny scene, but I rushed her out and we sat in another room for 20 minutes until she felt better. E's mother came in at that point while I was just calming M down and made us get out. Since then, E and M's maternal family have been sending me angry messages about how rude we were, and E has told me that they want no contact for the foreseeable future. I really meant well and I just wanted to make everyone happy. But am I the asshole?